everyone. Good evening. How are we all? Hello. Hi, Sherry. Hi, Missy. Hi, Woo Woo. How are you this evening? Hello, Anna Karen as well. Good evening to you. I hope we are all well. Welcome to another live. So this is number 9. So as you can see tonight, I have Maui Princess out. I'm going to do a little bit of work on her, a bit of confetti. Hi, Sarah. If you hear lots of bangs and things, it's bonfire night here in the UK, and we've got fireworks going off. It's been a bit noisy the last few days. Well, certainly in the evenings anyway. But you might just hear something come up on the stream. Hope we're all doing well. Hope we're keeping well. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Sherry. Has everybody had a good week? And let us know what you're stitching on. Good evening, Chantal. Hi, Sandy. How are you? Hi, Katinka. It's lovely to see you all. But yeah, so let me know what you're busy working on this evening. As if I needed any more enabling, eh? I've got Andy with me tonight, so he will probably chime in and chat with us.
He may do. He may do. I'm always here.
Yeah, sometimes though you are the silent type.
Always.
Hi, Missy. Stitching on a bespoke new blackwork pattern of your own. Oh, that sounds lovely. Sharon, not stitching as yet. A very stressed dog sitting on. Oh no. Yeah, Hannah has gone. My eldest has gone to Grandad's tonight to be with and to help him with his dog. Granddaddy's 80, and the dog doesn't like fireworks, and Hannah is quite calming with the dog. So I understand exactly. You know, your poor little pooch. It's not nice for them, is it? I mean, this is where the argument is. For fireworks to be for public display only. Certainly I got woken up at 2 a.m. the other night because of some idiot deciding to let off extremely loud fireworks at 2 a.m. I did it twice, so yeah. It's not good. Let's see. Sarah, Master is out for its November stitches. How many are you hoping to get in this month, Sarah? Sandy, getting over the flu. Oh no. I feel for you having the flu there, Sandy. I'm actually supposed to go and get a flu jab, but it's fitting it in. You know what life's like, but you know, flu would be even worse, wouldn't it? But I do hope that you're on the mend soon. Hi, Betsy in Virginia. Woo woo, working on Ex Machina. Got hand surgery on Tuesday. Been waiting for 8 weeks. A very scared cat sat with me. Our cat seems to be okay about fireworks. She's not particularly phased, but I did notice that yesterday she was off the food a little bit. Now, whether that was because of the noise. Oh, look at that. It's gone all blurry again. Oh, let me just do the switch. Oh, no.
That's better.
Yeah. Let me know if it goes blurry, won't you?
I will.
The cat just sort of sent to go off her food for a day or two. She wasn't sort of particularly keen on coming out from under Hannah's bed and trotting down and asking for a food like she normally does. So let's see. Princess Eliana again for Anna Karen, because I can see the finish line. We always love a good finish.
Well, you are over 60% done on Maui Princess.
I'm 67% done on Maui Princess.
Almost 70 then.
Sharon, I have two dogs. One is scared stiff and the other will sit in the garden and watch them. Isn't it funny? My greyhound absolutely hated them. But of course, you know, she was she had previously been a racing dog, so she was used to noise. But no, she absolutely hated fireworks. Sarah, about 9,000 tent stitches, which will leave about 5,000 to finish in December. Wow. So you're not far away from a finish either, Sarah. Hi, Julie. Sandy had my jab 1 week later. Boom. Oh, I might have to debate having mine now then, Sandy, if that's the effect it's had. I don't think I really want to experience it even after having the jab. Whew. Hello, Danny. How are you? And Norma, lovely to see you. Got a good lot of you in tonight.
Nikki, you're blurry again.
Am I? There we go. Unblurry.
No, still blurry.
I'm unblurry now.
You are now.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys what I was up to yesterday with Andy.
Indeed. This is where I may chime in.
Uh-huh.
Well, I already have been chiming in.
Hello, Sheila. So, yeah, Andy and I, if you have any of you seen either of Andy's videos that he released today?
Either? There's only one.
Don't you not release one at 6?
Oh, of course, yeah. I thought you meant the other one that's not out till December.
No.
Yeah, so there are two.
There are two videos that Andy's put out, one of which is called Tales from the Village Green. Yes,
it's the 27th such episode of Tales from the Village Green. It's
Yeah.
like a little side gig that I do on top of all my usual episodes. If you
Okay.
you are, of course, welcome to view the normal Village episode today. It's Stubton. It's a very
Yeah.
nice place, but we're talking mainly now
about the Tales from the
Tales
Village
from
Green.
Village Green.
Yeah. So just catch up on my comments. Katinka working on my mauve butterfly. I think I'm using every pink there is there to be had at the moment. Can't wait for butterfly to emerge. Katinka has. So Katinka's seen the video. Missy not today. Oh, I keep blurring. I'm really sorry. Don't know why.
I don't know why either.
Right. So if you've not seen Andy's video, the Tales from the Village Green, which if I ask Andy very nicely, considering he's watching my stitch with my live on his laptop,
What do you want to do? Link it?
I'm going to ask him to pop a link in the chat
Right,
box.
give me a second because I've got to basically come out of the live stream to do it.
So we went to a village in Nottinghamshire, which has a crematorium within its parish boundary. And we had a very special guest to meet at that crematorium. And we've made two videos. Well, Andy's made two videos about it, one of which is his normal village video, which will be out in due course. God, these bangs are getting louder.
The video will be out in December.
Yeah.
It's on the 18th. It's a long way away because there's loads of other stuff to come before it.
But he did put out a little snapshot of it today in his Tales from the Village Green. So we went to meet a young girl called Matilda. And Matilda is just 10 years old. Hello, Jodie. So
that's Jodie that comments on mine.
yes.
Oh right, I didn't know. Hey Jodie, I didn't know that you watched both of us. I've seen you comment on my stuff before. I didn't realise. Brilliant.
Yeah, so we met this lovely young lady called Matilda and her mum. And her mum is one of the crematorium staff. You're not late at all, Jodie. You know, we've only just got started, so you're absolutely fine. And Matilda lost her grandma a few years ago. And her grandma worked in a post office. And grandma always said to her that the letters in the post box were hers and she was to send them for the people who'd put the letters in. And after Matilda's grandma died, she said to her mum, why can't I send a letter to my mum, to my grandma? Wouldn't it be nice if I was able to send a letter? So she came up with the idea of a post box. And the post box is for letters to heaven. So as a way of helping people deal with the grief of losing a loved one, Matilda came up with the idea of having this post box so that you could still post Christmas cards and birthday cards and letters and things, because when somebody passes away, we perhaps haven't said all that needs to be said, or we want to pass on news and that kind of thing. So there is a post box that's been installed, and it's a beautiful white post box, and it says Letters to Heaven on it. And within the first, I think she said about the first month of its installation, there'd been over 100 letters posted in there.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fantastic. And Matilda's been on television, she's been on the radio, she's been and met the Prime Minister. She's currently lobbying the King to try and have one of the Letters to Heaven post boxes installed at Windsor.
Can you imagine if it had been a thing when the
Queen died? Yeah. And anyway, so we've made 2 videos. There's a short one today where I get to talk to Matilda and I post a letter of my own. And then there's a Lamley episode which comes out in December, which has the full, well, you know, more of the interview. Yeah, not the full interview, because some of it did get edited out, obviously, for time and production constraints.
I will just say, if anybody wants to see the full 7 minutes and 15 seconds of Nikki's interview with Matilda, I have uploaded that as well to YouTube, but you need to be a member of my channel to watch that. So
well, you see, maybe in time you can upload it, you know, maybe onto your Facebook group or something.
Yeah.
You know, give the members a bit of time with it first. So we had an extraordinary day meeting an extraordinary little girl. And Jodie is a member.
Oh, there you go then, Jodie. You can watch the full unedited version then, can't you?
Yeah, and she was just absolutely amazing. And me and Andy sort of both felt like we'd been interviewing a bona fide sort of celebrity kind of thing. You know, she was just absolutely fantastic and happy to talk to us about, you know, what she was doing kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was just phenomenal.
And I think we were dumbstruck.
We were just awestruck, more than anything.
Because afterwards, when we were driving home, we couldn't really talk about anything else. We were just sort of still in awe of this wonderful little girl who we'd met. And it was just, even now I still can't put it properly into words, really.
So Sharon, Matilda is 10. She was 9 when she came up with the idea, and she was 4 when her grandma died. So she's been thinking about it for a little while. and it's now sort of come to fruition. But the reason I'm talking about it is this. No matter where in the world you are, if you know anybody or have need to visit a cemetery regularly and you're able to do so, why not broach the idea of having a Letters to Heaven postbox? We know that they're in the UK in at least 40 locations. There's probably more. We know there's at least one in Scotland. There are letterboxes going up in Australia.
This is all down to Matilda's idea.
All down to Matilda. So, you know, wherever you are in the world, even if you just happen to know somebody that works in the funeral industry, a funeral home, for example, or you've got one on your street, or, you know, that kind of thing, just go and ask them about a Letters to Heaven postbox, because I think it's superb, you know, absolutely fantastic thing, and the brainchild of a 9-year-old, which helps. She's helped so many people already. You know, this girl gets stopped in the street by people thanking her for the idea, which is just awesome.
Yeah. And, you know, I mean, both her and a mum.
Yep.
Are just.
They are such lovely people.
Yeah, well, I mean, we definitely made 2 friends yesterday, didn't we?
Oh yes, absolutely. And we had, we also had. We've not shown this on the video for obvious reasons, because we don't want to upset or offend anybody. But you know, this place where the box is a working crematorium. And although I didn't sort of see anything, what's the word I'm looking for, dear?
What do you mean?
There was no departed being cared for at that time. We were allowed to have a tour and an explanation of, because it was a brand new building, of what it does, how it happens, the aftermath, emissions, you know, all kinds of things. It was just lots and lots of information, and it was wonderful. We learned quite a lot, didn't we?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, if you know anybody who works in the industry, go and lobby them for a post box. I'm actually going to think, you know, maybe get in touch with Herringthorpe here.
Yeah, possibly.
So let's just catch up on the comments.
It's mainly all to do with.
So Jodie says she'll definitely be watching this one. Gio, hello Gio, how are you? Are we all caught up? I know that you've not been about for a little bit, had you? Chantal, I'm stitching on my Christmas village Afghan. I'm not a full coverage stitcher, but I love seeing it. But an Afghan, I've never stitched an Afghan. So yeah, hats off. I've seen them. I've seen some beautiful ones, but I've never been brave enough to tattle one. Jodie, it really is an awesome idea. Yes, it is. And what they use is or what they've used at Gedling is an Elizabeth II small box that sits on a single post.
Like the normal red ones that you see around, except it's painted
white. So
Nikki, where's your
crochet? I've got it at the side of me, it's all right. So I'm just catch up on my other comments, and then I'll tell you what I'm going to do for the post box and what I've been doing today, because I have been a busy bunny. Hello, Mrs. Miggins.
I'll just say as well, that that Nikki's about to come to, Matilda's mother Leanne doesn't know about this.
She will know about it when she watches this video, though.
Yeah. I have had an assurance from the lady herself that after this live stream is done and I've sent her the link, that they will be watching it. So this is going to be kind of a little bit of a surprise for them, isn't it?
It certainly is. So
keep watching, Leanne.
Let me just. I've still got Julie's comment here. So when my dad died, the grandchildren never got to say goodbye. We got them to write letters to him, which we put in his coffin. It's really helped them in the grieving process. This is a great idea. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that Matilda's talking about. But instead of putting them in the, you only get a very small window of opportunity to place anything in a coffin. But this is something that can be ongoing for as long as you need. And the crematorium staff keep it private as well. So nobody ever knows what you've written. Nobody, they don't just kind of open them and read them like fan mail. It's very private. It's between you and the recipient, or the intended recipient, should I say. So... Right. Okay. So, hello, Heather. How are you today? Right. So, one of the things that Leanne and I were talking, and I was saying that, I would talk to you guys about my experience yesterday on tonight's video, which, of course, I'm doing. And spread the word. Matilda's also got an Instagram account.
Yeah, if I can find it.
I know what it is. It's okay.
Okay.
She's got an Instagram account. So if any of you are following her on Instagram, Andy can type this in the chat. So her Instagram name is letters.
Hang on. Yeah.
Underscore.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Underscore.
Yeah.
Heaven.
Yeah.
Underscore.
Yeah.
Postbox.
Okay.
So you can see Matilda and follow her Instagram as well, because we do want this to go around the country and around the world. It's something that I definitely can get behind. I think I actually posted a letter in there myself, because as you guys know, I lost my mum 10 years ago, nearly 11 years ago. And as I say on the video, there's always things that are left unsaid, news that you want to give, and things that you want to ask, and advice that you want, and guidance. So I wrote a letter to my mum, and I posted it yesterday. So... because, there are a few things in my life that, I wanted to get off my chest, and that's what I've done. So what I'm going to do, because it's a letterbox now, a post box now, if you're not in the UK, you might not know about this, but in recent years, there's become a bit of a trend. I'm pretty sure that everybody's heard of yarn bombing, where, you might see, some flowers or a bit of bunting, or, something handmade that either knitted or crocheted that crops up. Well, one of the ways that people have yarn bombed in the past is by making what's called a topper for post boxes. And there are big round ones, big round post boxes. We've seen them. Now, what have we seen on these toppers, Andy?
Oh, all sorts of stuff. We've seen
Platinum Jubilee for the Queen.
Yeah, there was plenty of those.
Coronation.
I've seen ones on Remembrance Day, including poppies and soldiers. Easter, I've seen Easter eggs
and bunnies. Yeah.
Christmas ones, including snowmen and Santa Claus and Christmas trees and
coronation.
Listen, you name it, I've probably seen it on top of a post box.
Yep. So I am busy in between my stitching and working and all of the other good stuff I've got going on. I am busy making a post box topper for the Letters to Heaven post box, because Leanne said to me that she'd asked around about having one done, and somebody had said, oh no, I think that's a little bit inappropriate. Well, some people like to see that kind of thing, and you know, I get that there's a minority that may not, but we're making a topper, and it's going to feature all being well, subject to patterns and my skill, because I've not crocheted in a long time. I'm going to make a Christmas tree, a wreath, a candy cane, a Christmas parcel, and an angel. I'm hoping to get all 5 of those. So I've been and got some wool today.
And you've started it off, haven't you?
And I've started it.
Do you want to show them the piece you've got so far?
I'm going to do, yeah.
There's not much of it as of yet, but I was watching Nikki.
Well, I can't show all of it anyway.
I was watching Nikki do this earlier. I was thinking to myself, how are you stitching this so fast?
So I'm about halfway done with the base. And as you can see, it's a bright red. And I'm doing it in a basket weave because it's a nice thick weave and it holds its shape. Please come out of being blurry.
Lift your camera up. Lift the arm up a bit.
Is that better?
Yeah, sort of.
So yeah, so we've got the base ongoing. Like I said, I went to the Hobbycraft today and I got some wool, and I'm cracking on. Right. So
yeah,
I will show you guys as well when it's done on my floss tube, because I'll be super proud if I finish it. I'm sure I will.
You will finish it. I know you. You will finish it.
Hello, Stacey. I'm not sure if I've seen you in my chats, but welcome. You're not. I may have seen you before, but my memory's not where it was. But welcome in any case. Budge up on the stitching bench. Share what you are stitching on and where you are.
First timer.
Lots of people from all over the world in here. Thank you, Jodie. I'll keep you updated with progress. I found a lovely Christmas tree pattern today. So, so yeah. So I'm doing that as a gift for Matilda and her mum, and as a thank you, and all of that good stuff. What are you busy typing at?
Oh, I've got a blurb to write.
All right, okay. Royal Holiday Mirabilia and Pennsylvania. Ooh. Now, Royal Holiday, is that the one where she's looking to the left and it's got like a red cloak on her? Am I up the right street there? My knowledge of Mirabilias is not fantastic, I have to say. Yes, spot on. Great. Super job. I've still got two. Well, I've got a Mirabilia and a Nora in my stash. I haven't started them yet. Speaking of starting, I think it was on my last Chatty Stitch with me. What do you guys think too? I mean, next year I'm having no new starts, 2024. But given I've got a few of them now, what say 2025 could be the year of the gecko and stitch on my gecko rouge kits, because I've got the magpie, the bee and the cat. I've got one that's on order. Thanks to me winning my bet. Smug face inserted here. And I will get a voucher from Gecko next year, which means another kit. So I'm thinking about doing the year of the gecko. So concentrating on my Gecko Rouge kits for 2024. But of course, it depends on how far I get down these 10 current work in progresses that I've got, because 2048 finish for Night Cafe is not getting any shorter. Oh, crikey. Here we go again. That's it. Maria. Hello, Maria. How are you? I've been in here from the beginning. A wonderful, uplifting news about Matilda's sweetheart. Yes. Yeah, she's such a lovely, lovely girl. She really is. I bet her mum absolutely bursts with pride. We seem to be going blurry again. I think that's a great idea, but carry on stitching on Stitching Shelf. Oh, yes, I will definitely carry on with Stitching. I love Stitching Shelf. The colours in her are just out of this world. One of Lauren's friends came over for a sleepover, and I was working on Stitching Shelf. It was after I'd done my Stitch With Me. And she was like, oh, that's lovely. And we were spotting little bits in the in the pattern and stuff. And oh, it was great. It's one of those pieces that you look at and you can see that there's books and there's big items and there's ladies sat stitching, but then when you look a bit closer, you can see some of those details, and oh, I love it. Love the idea of the Year of the Gecko. Yeah, I thought it was inspired, that one, Jodie. I mean, obviously I will still keep my other stuff going as well. But, you know, I think if I have a you know, no new starts next year, I'm going to get a good way down my pieces, all being well. And then Year of the Gecko in 2025 gives me an opportunity to have at least 5 new starts, doesn't it? At least. I was watching Crafty Emily's floss tube earlier. She's doing, I think it's World Travel Bookshelf. I'm pretty sure it's World Travel Bookshelf. I could be wrong. And she's kind of been sort of all over it. It's great, you know, how she's sort of picking out these little bits and going ahead and stitching, you know, out on that little section and then traveling across to another bit. And fantastic. Heather, I purchased 2 geckos recently. However, one isn't working with Pattern Keeper. Sometimes they do have a little gremlin, I think, with Pattern Keeper. I don't know why it is. But yeah, I know that sometimes there is for some of them, there's that little gremlin there which stops them working. Sharon, one of my other viewers, has had trouble with it. What did you purchase, Heather, out of interest? Because I'm purely nosy and I've gone blurry again. Come on.
You have.
That's it. These flaming fireworks are still going off. If you wake me up at 2 a.m. again, I won't be happy. What else have we been up to this week? Anything exciting, Andy? Oh, we had another storm, didn't we? Had another lot of rain.
Not as bad as the last one.
No, well, not for us. Some people down south had a lot of issues now. I ended up working from home on Thursday because they told us not to go into the office because there was a risk we may not get home. We had Sunday lunch today. We just had steak pie today, nothing exciting. And I had chicken. Oh, weight loss. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other thing. The other big news this week is that I have lost another 4 pounds, which I'm ecstatic about. And I've now lost 2 stone 8.5 pounds, or if you prefer just pounds, £36.50. So I'm totting them up, aren't I? Couldn't believe it when I was in a group and I got on the scales and I was like, how much? Hello, Lynn, you made it.
Hi, Lynn. Happy to hear me.
Lynn is the lady. It's not far from Niagara.
Ah.
We turn the clocks back here in Canada too. We also get many BBC shows from Acorn, through our library website here in my large city. Woohoo! Happy dance. And Sandy's chuffed for me too. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel a lot. I mean, yesterday we were walking around this village. Obviously it was wet and rainy and miserable. And I didn't miss a beat, did I?
No.
And I didn't even get out of breath climbing up hills like before. I'd needed an oxygen tank and a seat at the top.
Beautiful village as well, by the way. Let's not take away from the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, obviously, obviously Matilda and the crematorium dominated the whole day, really. But Lamley itself is lovely. Absolutely
gorgeous little place.
If any of you are ever in that part of Nottinghamshire, I recommend going to the Dumballs.
Yep.
Which are steep-sided gorges which were formed by glacial meltwater. And they're famous locally because cowslips grow on them. If any of you know...
Cowslip being a plant.
Yeah, if any of you know your plants, then yeah, you'll see plenty of them there. See, they've even adopted a cowslip as the village's
emblem. Yeah.
You'll see it on the village side.
It's a gorgeous place, though, isn't it?
Yeah. It was just wet yesterday.
And we met a local hero as well.
Oh, yeah.
This chap they have a lot of what they call a beck. It's like a stream running through the village, and some of them join up. And when they go sort of under bridges and things, they have a grill which stops large piece debris clogging up. So. And this chap, all he does is spend his time going around and clearing out these becks when it gets stormy and, there's a lot of rain. So if it wasn't for him, we'd have been, we'd have needed a canoe to go around the village, I think. Don't you reckon?
I reckon.
The two geckos are Wild Thing and River Peacock. I'm going to look those up. I'm going to look them up. Norma, congratulations on your weight loss. You need to share your secret. It's Slimming World. The plan I'm following is Slimming World. I do believe that if you're overseas as well, you can have a look at it. But basically, dairy and fibre or fibre-rich foods like bread are fairly limited. You can have most vegetables and fruits are unlimited when eaten in their natural form, i.e. not mashed, not pureed when it comes to fruit, for example. But I don't eat things anymore like pastry, anything with fats in it, anything with more refined carbohydrates in it. Plenty of drinking. Not wine, sadly. Certainly I drink a lot of squash these days, sugar-free squash, and I limit the amount of tea and coffee that I drink as well. And it's working for me. Well, it's clearly doing something, because I'm certainly not as I've noticed that there are certain areas of my body which are not as thick set as they were. My shoulders are certainly a bit thinner, aren't they, Andy?
Yes.
Sort of at the side of your chest, underneath your sort of arm, on the side of your trunk, where, if you're a bit weighty, you can get an extra kind of fatty roll where your bra strap usually sits. Well, that's kind of not there anymore, or it's reducing, should I say, because it's still there, it's just not as much. Where else have I lost it? You say I've lost a bit off my bum.
Yeah.
Because there's not quite as much there for Andy to... Well, you can join the dots on that one. Where else have I lost it, Andy? I think my feet, as silly as it sounds, my feet seem to be a little bit thinner. People have said that they can see that I've lost it around my face. I mean, and certainly on my tummy, it's definitely, excuse me, it's definitely gone. So, oh, these blooming fireworks. I don't know if you guys can hear them or not. Certainly, you know, now becoming an irritant. Emu by River Peacock. I'm going to go and have a look at these, Heather, as if I needed any more enabling. So, is there anything else that we've done this week? No?
No, I think so.
I'm taking Lauren to Manchester next week for the day. Going to go and have a day out, go shopping, have lunch. Be ladies, what lunch? We were going to have an overnight, but unfortunately we can't find a hotel in the right place at the right price. They all want to seem to charge phenomenal amounts of money, so I'm just wondering if something's going on in Manchester. So she's going to enjoy that.
Jodie says you've lost weight in your face.
Yeah. Haven't seen my tummy, but I've lost weight in my face. And the fireworks are not very loud. That's good, because they're loud enough to make me jump here. So I'm glad that you're not hearing them so much. But I think, to be fair, they are steadying off a bit, aren't they?
Well, I mean, is it still raining outside?
No idea.
Oh. Well, it's Sunday night, so, you know, 8:45, people are probably packing in early tonight.
Well, yeah, school in the morning for some kiddlywinkles, isn't it?
There was a lot last night.
Oh, a heck of a lot. I tell you, it gives you an indication of what it would be like to be living in a war zone. The amount of bangs. And of course, you know, in a war zone, they have it 24 hours a day. We have to stomach it for a few hours. So I suppose in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Congrats on the weight loss. Thank you, Heather. Looks like you just lost me briefly for a second there, but I am back. Why are they popping fireworks? Right. So 5th of November here in the UK is Bonfire Night. It's the annual commemoration, I suppose, of the gunpowder plot.
Yes, so I mean,
to blow up the Houses of Parliament.
Yeah, I'm sure the British people in this chat will know all about that. But if you're not British, then basically in the 1600s,
a man called Guy Fawkes.
A guy called Guy Fawkes.
Had a plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament,
which obviously failed. James the First was on the throne at the time, I believe, if I remember rightly from school. It didn't happen, but obviously people still remember the plot by way of having bonfires and fireworks. As if, you know,
so it was called it was called the gunpowder plot, and of course gunpowder is used in fireworks now, and they're used as as a sort of commemoration of that. And it's a tradition that on top of, you also have a bonfire, and the tradition is that on top of the bonfire you make an effigy, and the effigy is called a guy.
It's like a
for Guy Fawkes. So
pretty much.
And the weekend that's closest to Bonfire Night, closest to November the 5th, which is obviously today is November the 5th, but people were starting on Friday night
always
because
do.
on the weekend closest, it's usually 3 nights of constant fireworks.
Well, like 3 weeks.
And personally, I don't know why, because fireworks are expensive things, and I've never bought any. My ex-husband bought some 1 year, but I've never bought any because everybody else has plenty enough for my kids to see. I have sat in the living room in the dark with the window wide open, with the curtains wide open, and the kids have had a fireworks show in the nice and warm with a hot dog and a mug of hot chocolate nearby and enjoyed it.
Indeed.
So, and then of course we have sparklers as well, which are obviously the handheld firework, which represent the wick for a bomb.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So there we go.
There's the story of the gunpowder plot.
It's a
potted version.
It's a British history thing.
Indeed. And in fact, I'm sorry, Nikki, but I'm gonna link this back to my channel yet again.
Oh, blimey.
In the new year, because I'll be going there this year, but I won't put it out till next year because I've already got things lined up for this year now. I will be going to the village near Harrogate where Guy Fawkes lived as a kid.
Cool.
I won't be able to capture much of his house because I do believe it's a private property and it's not really a tourist attraction. But I think I can see it from the local churchyard. So I'll obviously do a piece about that.
Smash in. So there you go. Maybe next year you can do a Tales from about bonfire night.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, we just got a few distant ones now. The odd one or two.
Yeah, I think they've pretty much stopped now. What's this?
And of course, all the local Facebook groups, everybody's going bananas and saying, "Oh, these fireworks are too loud." And somebody actually put on one, "Can you please keep your dogs quiet so I can enjoy my fireworks?" You know, that's one of the things. If any of you are in a Facebook community group, particularly in the UK, fights break out over nothing at all. We have the local chip shop. Somebody's lost a cat. We've found a bank card.
Chippy Wars.
Chippy Wars, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Lost a cat, found a bank card. What else do we get in them?
All sorts.
Somebody always complains about parking, about noise, about antisocial behaviour.
Happens all the time.
Yeah. And then somebody will always say, "Who's the local courier?" And I'm around all week picking up scrap. Local Facebook groups are comedy gold, or can be. Hello, Angela.
I think the best thing is the Chippy Wars that we've had in one of our local ones.
Oh God, yeah.
So basically, the story behind this is the place that's sort of next door to us has got 2 chippies. Right?
The village, the next door village.
Yeah, yeah. So there's 2 chip shops. You've got one called Station Road Fish Bar, and the other one Broadway Chippy.
Yep.
And for a long time, there was a bit of competition between the 2.
Because some bright spark would post something like, "What's the best chippy in Swinton?" So half of people would say Broadway, half of them would say Station Road, and then some near could pop in and say, "Oh, Carl's Place."
Oh yes, because there is Carl's Place as well, but no one seemed to really care about that one, did they?
No.
So yeah, there were 3. And to add to the confusion now, there's now another chippy sprung up called the Friary, which is right next door to Station Road Fish Bar. And it seems to have closed that one down. And so now it's kind of
now you get Roman coming in as well, don't we?
Yeah. So, it's just ridiculous, which one's the best chippy. Personally, I don't like any of them because we have one.
We have Kilness Road
from us, which is much better, even though it is pricey.
Didn't Kit Harington make a movie/TV series about this? Very possibly, Sarah. Very possible. I should imagine it's definitely one of those things that has been booked a celluloid at some point. So yes, I should imagine so.
Sharon says, "Didn't know you lived near me."
Yeah, I've just summarised our local group. It's a common thing across the UK.
It is, yeah, but that actually might be about
Yeah.
ours because
No,
I was mentioning
no.
names, wasn't I?
No, I don't think Sharon actually physically lives near us. It's just that her local group
It's like that.
is
Yeah.
exactly the same. Where's the cats?
Yeah.
Who's the local Hermes courier?
Yeah.
Best chippy. Who's parked like an idiot outside the school?
Most of them.
Yeah, antisocial behaviour. There's somebody on a motorbike.
Ah, well, Sharon's apparently in Essex,
Yeah.
so yeah, no, it's not. We're not in Essex, but yeah, they are all the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
Very similar.
Sarah, I would have to ask Google again, but I think one of the major players was one of his ancestors. Yes, very possible.
Is that about
Kit Harington and Guy Fawkes? Yeah. You just put Kit Harington's name into
I'm going to do
Wikipedia.
Actually. I'm sure, yeah, because I don't know myself, but you never know.
Sharon, I've got one of my friends who is in North Kent, and she actually works as a weight loss consultant, and every time that she puts an advert in one of her local groups, it gets deleted, and yet they'll allow pyramid marketing stuff, like join me doing this perfume thing and I'll make you rich in a week and that kind of stuff. So local Facebook groups, they can be such funny places, can't they?
We love them.
Well, allegedly.
Right, so Kit Harington's Wikipedia page does indeed mention something about the gunpowder plot. Let me just have a read of it, and then I'll sort of paraphrase.
You can read and summarise.
Okay. So, through his father, Harington descends from the Scottish politician Henry Dundas, the first Viscount Melville. He's related to men who were involved on opposite sides of the gunpowder plot in 1605. He claims a family connection with the leader of the plot, Robert Catesby, on his mother's side, whilst through his father's side, he's related to King James I, the target of the assassination attempt.
Oh, well, you see, so Kit Harington plays for both teams.
So
both sides.
There you go. It's like his own family wanted to kill him. Well, in a roundabout way.
Terrible. They have to pay to advertise in our group unless you're the local estate agent. That's awful. You have to pay to advertise on a free platform. Good grief. I know times are hard, but holy moly.
There you go.
I will be doing a live next Sunday, but Andy and I are away. Is it the Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday?
Yes, because we are in Cumbria.
We're going to Cumbria. So next week, there will be one this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, there may not be a floss tube. I'm hoping to do one before we leave, but it depends on things like weather, traffic, and one or two other minor bumps in the road. If I can do one, I will do one. I will at least make it here, and Andy will sort it out when we're at the hotel. But yeah, we are away for a couple of days. So
yes, we are in Cumbria.
Yeah. We're going to go and do some village idioting.
Yes, 6 of them. I don't think anybody is in this chat who's in Cumbria, but if you know Cumbria, you might know where we're going. We're going to Workington, and we're doing some between there and Cockermouth. So
which will be quite nice. And then I come home. No, hang on. This Saturday, it's not Manchester. So this Friday, coming, I'm going to Nottingham with Hannah until Saturday. Then on Monday, we're going to Cumbria. Come back on the Wednesday, and then on the Saturday, following Saturday, that's when me and Lauren are going to Manchester. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Busy couple of weeks coming up. And all for everybody else. I shall certainly be trying to get some stitchy time in. Or at the very least, some crochet time in. Get this topper made.
Nikki, I'm trying to write something here.
What are you trying to say?
Lord of the Rings is just a trilogy, isn't it?
The films are a trilogy, but the books are a series. Why?
Okay. So
what are you trying to say?
Little preview, because I write my previews for my my.
Get on with it. What are you trying to say?
in this place, Tolkien once had a house or lived in a house.
Right.
I'm trying to say that this place has got a connection to him.
I would say
is it fair enough to say that the Lord of the Rings is a trilogy? That's really all I'm asking.
I would say the Lord of the Rings series of novels.
Okay.
Rather than, because there are 6 films. That's not a trilogy.
Well, I know, but I'm saying it because I sort of know it as a trilogy.
But then again, Tolkien also wrote a number of other books, including the Silmarillion.
Yeah.
So, which is not an easy read, apparently.
Any Tolkien fans in?
Pretty sure. Yeah. So next week is going to be, this coming week is going to be a bit peculiar because I shall be working Monday and I'll be working Tuesday, and then I'm off for 12 glorious days. Yeah, trilogy in books is 3 novels and 3 books, and then it's over.
Yeah.
But Lord of the Rings, started with The Hobbit. So enjoy your 12 days. Oh, yes. I'm ready for the 12 days off, Jodie. I really am. The last time I had off was at the end of September. But as the clocks have changed and the days are short, I just, work's just hard right now. Maria, I tried to read the books after I saw the movies. Too hard to follow. Yes, absolutely. The books are very hard going. The movie actually makes it a lot, it makes it easier to follow the story, because from what I remember of the books, they were really, really hard going to read. I think my brother read them as a kid, and my brother didn't do much reading. And I don't think he was terribly keen either. Yeah, Jodie loves The Hobbit and loved reading The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. Did you find them hard going, those books, Jodie? But everybody says the Silmarillion is hard going. And I'm on Facebook, there's like a few Lord of the Rings fan groups, and they have some of the most gorgeous art. And I just think I'd stitch that.
I'm curious now, hearing you pronounce Silmarillion, because I know I've mentioned that word in this episode. I wonder whether I've said it right.
All right.
because I definitely don't remember it saying it like that.
There's a few memes about Silmarillion. I'll have to show you later. I very often go, there's a bookshop near the office, and occasionally I might pop into the bookshop and I'll go and find the Tolkien section and I'll just stare at all of the books. And I kind of think to myself, dare I? Because I know that they will be a hard-going read. But, you know, I mean, the other thing is maybe I could get it in audiobook form. I know that I think YouTube's had the audiobook of like The Hobbit and stuff uploaded, so maybe I could just listen. Maria saved to read later. Yeah, good plan.
This blurb is taking me ages.
What is it?
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't read an awful lot. I would sooner listen. Right, so it's confirmed here that The Lord of the Rings is a trilogy. The Fellowship, The Two Towers, The Return of the King. The Hobbit wasn't part of the trilogy, but of course The Hobbit, you know, was certainly within, not the part of the trilogy, but within the series with the same characters, wasn't it?
I don't know because I'm afraid I'm not a bookworm.
Oh yeah, Andy's never watched any of the Lord of the Rings.
I'm just
films.
I just don't do film, generally speaking. I don't really read either. I'm not a bookworm. Never have been.
No. The books are like studying textbooks, yes. But yeah, I very often, as I said, I go into Waterstones and I'll just stand there and stare at the books and think, dare I? But I do love them. I love them as a series of films. I would sit and watch them over and over. In fact, Andy, you said to me, are you watching them again? And yeah.
Yeah.
And why not? Tolkien, actually, even though he lived sort of in Oxfordshire and lived on the south coast in the later part of his life, I think it was Tolkien that lived in the south coast for a bit. He actually spent time in various places around the UK.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one that I'm writing this for is Roos, which is near Withensea.
Yeah, Withensea. I know he spent time in Withensea in the Holderness Coast and East Riding. I told you that.
Yeah. Well, I found the house when I did the walk around Roos. I found the house where he supposedly spent time, but no one knows for definite if he did.
All right.
It's just a
supposition.
That this is the house he stayed in, but he gave very few clues as to where this house was. He called it a lonely house, and you know, people have sort of put theories forward as to which house it was. People also think it might have been an old hall which got burned down, but no one really knows.
But Tolkien was, you know, he liked riddles and mystery. Definitely a part of him.
Yeah, he did.
I appreciate everything English and Scottish, Game of Thrones, Outlanders, that kind of thing. We've been to at least one place where Game of Thrones was filmed in part.
Have we?
Ballintoy.
Oh, yeah. Of course, yeah. Ballintoy.
In Northern Ireland.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about Ballintoy. Because
Sunny Days says the fact that multiple movies were made were probably more of a financial calculation. Yeah, absolutely. Tried to read Silmarillion, couldn't manage it. Yeah. I've sort of seen a lot online, a lot of people who said they've tried to read the Silmarillion and found it so difficult. Was that the book that his son finished for him, Silmarillion?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because I know that Tolkien's son had something to do with finishing some of his works. Reading Terry Goodkind Wizard series. I've not seen that one, Maria. I'll have to go and look that up. But yeah, I think, audiobooks are definitely my way to go, because I don't get the time to read a physical book because I'm that busy doing other things. Even excuse me, when I'm traveling to work, I'm usually catching up on FlossTube. Outlander has been my favourite, and I've read 8 of the books audio. Terry Goodkind is an awesome series. Some good recommendations there. There are 12. Wow. Don't worry about coming in late. These lives tend to be going for about an hour and a half these days. So we'll be here until about 9:30, about another 20-ish, 25 minutes.
Yeah, you like your hour and a half.
It seems to be a nice time, doesn't it?
90 minutes worth of stitching.
Because after 90 minutes, I'm then ready to get up and have a walk around and a bit of a stretch.
Or as our Lacey calls it, a stretch.
Does she?
Yeah. Oh, what am I doing?
I don't know. What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know, quite frankly.
I love chunky books. Great stories last longer. I used to read an awful lot as a kid, and even as sort of a younger person. But since having family and what have you, reading really did take rather a back seat. I'll occasionally I might take a book to read on holiday, if I'm going to spend time by the pool or whatever. But no, I'm no longer a big reader. I'd sooner watch and listen.
What are we? December.
But my mum always encouraged us, as readers, because my mum was a very avid reader. I remember her having, floor to ceiling bookshelves full of books, and then there was a pile of books by her chair in the living room and a pile of books, on a bedside table, because she used to like to read before she went to sleep. My mum was a very avid reader. Stephen King is good too. Lots of hobbies, too many hobbies, so little time. Very true. I did read a couple of Stephen Kings. I read the book of The Green Mile. The Green Mile is one of my favourite films, bar none. I absolutely loved Michael Clarke Duncan in it. I was devastated when he died. He was such a nice, it appeared to be such a nice fella. And The Green Mile was, for me, was right up there. I loved it. And I read the book, and I really, really enjoyed the book of The Green Mile.
Sherry's been and watched the.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, I got a comment nearly an hour ago.
Oh, so cool.
The comment literally says, "Thanks for the video. Now back to Nicola Live."
Hey, Jodie, on that video, you'll get to see what little tummy I've got left and all, because you actually do see, you know, all of it. Yeah, I love the Green Mile. So, yeah, I've read that. And there was another Stephen King that I read as well. It'll come to me. The other book that I read that was quite good as well, and I felt it was actually better than the film, was, even though that it's been disputed about the accuracy of it, was Arthur Golden's Memoirs of a Geisha. That was another good book, which I really enjoyed. But the accuracy is disputed. If you can, you know, pick up a book and read it, and it mesmerise you from start to finish, if it's a page turner, it's a winner.
Winner, chicken dinner.
Yep. And I hope two of you have a lovely time away. Yes, I'm sure we will, Sandy. We will. We always make the best of it when we do go away. So it's not easy getting time away, especially when you've got a family. So when we do get the chance, it's normally, you know, 2 or 3 days at the most. Jodie says, I will be looking. Problem is, I haven't seen you tell me before the diet. Oh, you've got to take your dog. Oh, that's fine. Norma recently finished The Armour of Light by Ken Follett. Now, there was 800 plus pages of great writing. Yes, I've heard Ken Follett's are good. You know, we need extra hours in the days, don't we? What we could do with is working a 4-day week for a 5-day week's wage and having at least 3 days off. We could then dedicate a day to stitching, a day to reading, and a day to housework and anything other admin stuff that we need to do. We could really do with that, couldn't we? Yeah, Sarah loves a good book. The bigger the better. My daughters have grown up to be readers. Lauren reads quite a lot. Victoria, not so much, and Hannah reads a fair amount as well. So, yeah, they've all grown up to be good readers. Oh, speaking of Lauren, she's learned now how to do a double crochet. So we've gone from crochet chains, which are absolutely fantastic, to double crochets now. Slowly but surely, we're winning that one. She was absolutely amazed when I got the crochet hook out earlier on and started, and she was like, whoa, how fast do you crochet, Mum? Maria says, excellent idea. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a 3-day weekend every weekend, wouldn't it? They'll never go for it.
And then there was silence.
Yeah.
Concentrate on the stitching.
Yeah. I'm just Oh, excuse me. Having a look at how many stitches I've done so far. Last night I was stitching and I said to Andy, how long before you want to go to bed? And he said about 15 minutes. I said, yeah, no problem. I can finish up what I need to do in that 15 minutes. But I think I must have been quite tired last night because it took me over half an hour to do what I should have done in about 15 minutes. When I worked to put in 60 to 70 hours per week, blimey, Maria, that's a lot. I mean, to be fair, I used to do that as a young woman. You know, I used to work, you know, them sort of hours, certainly pre-children. And after me and my ex-husband split up and I had to go out to work, I did do some sort of 50 plus hour weeks, but 60 to 70 a week every week is not for me. 35 now. Right, okay. Question for you there, Andy.
What's that?
What is a civil parish and what other ones are there?
Oh my God.
Now, Katinka is in Norway, I think.
Okay. Right. So basically it's the lowest form of local government that we have in this country. It's a little bit hard to explain it, but basically England is divided into various bits depending on where you are. So we've got 4 levels of government. First of all, we've got the national government.
Central government.
Yeah, central government, which is
Sweden.
Sweden.
Okay. Yeah, she's in Sweden. Sorry, Katinka.
So obviously central government, that's the whole of the United Kingdom.
Yeah. So the central government has ultimate governmentship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So under that, we then have what's called counties. There are 48 counties in England. Okay.
We live in South Yorkshire.
We live in South Yorkshire. Within the counties, you've then got districts. So we're down to the 3rd level now. Our district in South Yorkshire is Rotherham. There are 4 districts in South Yorkshire. We've got Rotherham, Doncaster, Barnsley, and Sheffield.
And we're governed by a local authority.
Yeah, Rotherham Metropolitan
Borough Council.
Now, within each district, you have civil parishes. And these are basically villages, effectively. And they have their own council for very, very local things, such as
Christmas decorations.
Yeah, and for street lighting and
village fete,
allotments and things like that. Right, they govern all the tiny stuff. Right, the stuff that the councils at the level above deem, you know, a bit too unimportant for them, effectively. Yeah.
So you've got central government that makes and passes the laws. You've got the districts which govern the local area because geographically speaking districts vary up and down the country.
Yeah, we have different types of districts as well, but that's a whole different story.
You've got you've got the local authority governance which dictates things like your local taxes and how often your bins are emptied and which roads are going to get the money to get them repaired.
Yeah.
But the local government, because they are so busy with dealing with road repairs and council tax and paying their fat cats a big wage, they can't really be bothered with the small stuff within villages like.
It's not that they can't be bothered. I think it's
they're disinterested in it, aren't they?
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
they've got
bigger things to think about.
Yeah,
right. So
each of these civil parishes is governed by a parish council, which meets ever so often, isn't it?
It depends on on what they decide. Some meet every week, some meet monthly. Depends how big they are, because they vary in size and in population as well. So because they are government entities, it covers a block of land. So the great thing about Google is if you put the name of it into Google with the words civil parish after it, it will show you the land area which it covers. And that's basically what I work to. And the idea is for me to set foot in every single one of those 10,474 of them across England. Now, here's the thing. Not all of England is in a parished area.
Yeah, I mean, we don't live in a parished area,
We
but
don't live in a
that's, to be
parished area.
fair, you know, we don't have a village fete or Christmas lights or, you know, we're not campaigning for speed
No.
bumps or anything like that. So
No.
we just let our local authority deal with the small stuff, which basically gets ignored and it doesn't
So,
happen. But that's fine.
Generally speaking, the areas that are what's known as unparished are big towns or cities.
Yeah.
So
London, for example, the Greater London area, there's one civil parish.
There's one in the entirety of London. That's it. And you consider how big London is. It's got literally just one. But yet here in Rotherham, we've got 31. West Lindsey in Lincolnshire has 128.
Which one's the biggest?
In terms of how many it's got, Dorset. 176.
Yeah. So there you go. It's a bit of a lesson in local governance.
Yeah. So
national governance.
So yeah. So the idea is to visit every single one, and that's exactly what I'm doing or trying to do. It's challenging, but you know.
Hey, it's good though. I mean, look at what we've done this weekend.
It's good fun.
Got caught in the pittling down rain and met an awesome little girl.
Yeah.
931.
The confusing thing is as well is that the same word is used to mean association with the church, which is something different. Those are ecclesiastical. It really is quite unfortunate that the English language doesn't have a separate word for it, because it would be so much less confusing. But hey, that's part of being British.
So basically, if the area has a parish council in it, 10 to 1, Andy's going to go and visit.
Sharon, to answer that question, I have obviously visited many more than what's out on the channel right now, because I keep them in reserve and put them out when it's their time. But on Tuesday, I will be putting out the 1000th episode.
Yeah, the 1000th parish video.
The 1000th. By the end of this year, I'll have been to 1048.
And how many have you filmed though so far?
Up to now?
Yeah. Are you into next year yet?
No, I'm not quite into next year.
Oh, okay.
I've got, I think it's 11 left to fill in the spaces between now and Christmas. So that means I've been to
1037
in total. So I must have 37 videos in the bank at the minute, or 39 in the bank.
So my lovely Mrs. Miggins is also asking you, what gave you the idea to go to all the parishes?
Well, I grew up in a village.
Yep.
And I'm going to be going back to one of the villages I used to live in later this week. In fact, actually, so I grew up in a village, and I've always, until I moved in with Nikki, I only really knew village life. I didn't really know what living in a town was all about. That's why, you know,
you kind of missed it, didn't you?
Every time I go back to a place that's near home or that's like home, I feel a bit homesick, because it's different. Rural life is different to living in a town. And I just thought, you know, I'm kind of missing it living here. So how can I sort of reconnect with life in rural Britain? And this was basically what I came up with. I mean,
well, the idea was inspired by Jeff.
I had the inspiration. I don't know whether any of you guys know Jeff Marshall, who's he goes by a couple of names, but I think his most sort of well-known work is All the Stations, where he went to every single train station in the country, which is, you know, mad enough in itself. But I'm doing something that's a bit bigger than that, quite frankly. I mean, he only had, how many stations are there?
I've no idea.
There's got
200 and something.
Yeah, there's not that many when you think about it.
No.
But then of course he covered the entire country, didn't he? But of course he was only going to the stations. I'm doing something a much bigger than that. I'm actually going to a village. I mean, not every village has got a station.
So you took his idea basically and ran with it in village format.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are other people out there who try to do an every. I mean, there's a couple from Nottingham who
every pub
who are trying to go to every single pub
and have a drink
in said pub. It's called the Great British Pub Crawl. They were around here the other day, actually. They were in Mexborough.
Pity their livers at the end of it, but there you go.
But again, I mean, I don't fear any sort of competition from these people because not every village has got a pub.
Yeah.
You know, so you know they're not going to do this either. But you know, it's just I think everyone has to have some kind of wacky idea at some point in their lives. I think this was mine.
Yeah. So Katinka says, thank you very much.
No worries.
It was interesting.
I don't know how Sweden is divided into its sort of administrative areas, but I know sort of how Norway works. So I imagine Sweden is kind of similar.
Yeah.
I forget now what the Norwegian things are called. They've got a weird name.
Yeah.
But I sort of studied this for a while. So
Sharon says, that's brilliant. Mrs. Miggins says, yes, totally different. She was born and bred in a village called Elstead and then to a town, but prefer village life. And pubs are a dying breed. Yeah, they absolutely are a dying breed. What else we got there? Sarah, I live in a rural village of less than 300 and life is way different. Yeah. And Jodie's back after taking the dog. And Sharon says, unfortunately, our villages are joining up with town and disappearing. Yeah, that was something as well that was part of this, that villages are being swallowed up. I lived in Essex many years ago. And I lived in, I don't know if it's anywhere near you, Sharon. I lived in Southwood and Ferrers for a little while. And Southwood and Ferrers was quite small when I lived in it. But from what I understand now, it's very different. So, I should have disconnected this one. And Jodie didn't want to miss anything, so she wasn't long with the dog. Bless you, Jodie.
I think you just
yeah, we've just been rambling about parishes, Jodie. So you might, know, if you do go back a little bit, you'll hear us.
It's basically just me explaining what I do.
Yeah.
So I don't need that anymore.
Right.
We're about at the 90 minutes, aren't we?
Not far away.
You got a fair few stitches done there, Nikki.
I certainly have.
I can see where you've been. Put it that way.
Yeah. I'll tell you how many I've got done in a minute.
Sharon lives in Springfield on the edge of Chelmsford.
Yep, I know Springfield. There's a hospital in Springfield. Pretty sure there's a hospital in Springfield. One of my first ever jobs outside of Rotherham, when I moved down to South Woodham, was in the McDonald's in Chelmsford. And then there was a little nursing home that I worked in in Baddow as well. Right, so I am 9 stitches away from 300. And I've done 15 on this piece.
I can see where you've been.
So, yeah, that's quite good. I'm very pleased with that.
Good effort, that, Nikki.
So, I will be signing off this stream in a moment. Yes, that's right, private hospital. So, go and see Andy's video about Matilda if you've not seen it already. Link is further up. And spread the word where you can. So if you've got Facebook or anything like that, do please share the video, because the more people that get to see it, the more places that the post spots can go in. And the more people can benefit from it. I mean, I posted a letter yesterday and it was great. It was very cathartic to write down, what I was feeling and put it in a letter. So, yeah, do get behind Matilda. We are definitely rooting for her here at TVI headquarters anyway. But I will see you in the week. My schedule, as ever, Tuesday I'll be popping out a floss tube. Wednesday and Friday will be a couple of stitch with me's. And then next week we will reconvene here at 8 p.m. on Sunday. It's been great to speak to you all and lovely to chat. And thank you all very, very much for joining me. And Andy, of course.
Yes, indeed.
But yeah, take care, chaps. Have a lovely rest of your evening. Happy stitching. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.